So, me I scroll through and I found an article just now. Gleaner. And I posted the article on my page just now, where a justice of the peace was arrested for soliciting money to sign documents. Now, let me tell you something. The arresting officer, if you don't know what I know, you go lego a justice of the peace here. If you don't know what I know, you go lego a justice of the peace. The justice of, let me tell Jamaica something you don't know. As a matter of fact, because I have some old people listen to me. Let me just calm down a little bit. Because I'm going to get loud. Anyway, let me just calm down and go in his story. Friday, I had a document that I needed signed. Right here in Mandeville. Right here in Mandeville. And everybody know Mr. Stevenson. Yeah? On Grove Road. I'm a grow on there. Because that the man let me make sign my documents them. Because that the man that do it for years. Years. And then the man they always there for them office. When I got the man office where Mr. Stevenson is, and I spoke to him myself, me go to that business, he never tell me nothing, and me ask him. Me say, Mr. Stevenson, no man, me have to go get to one building. Me have to get to a building. Me say, me have to get to a building. And I ask him, I said, is this your property? He say, yes, that is his property. Everybody in a Mandeville can comment in this section here about the condition under which the justice of the peace is operating. And when I go say, man, what list? You didn't know that even not even a typing leaf, not even a typing flipping leaf, the government don't give to them, not even a pen to sign the documents. You have these people being justice of the peace across Jamaica holding this title, and they don't even get a flipping stipend. Not even a stipend. You don't know how much documents justice of the peace sign per day? Well, you don't know how much people visit a justice of the peace per day? Jamaica, all of us at some point need a document to sign by a justice of the peace passport form. You're renewing your birth certificate. You need this. A company wants something approved by a justice of the peace. And what I spoke to another justice of the peace friend that I had just before me call, because we didn't want to make sure. Me called one justice of the peace friend of mine, and I spoke to her. She said, Marvin, we get nothing from the government. Absolutely. And then you have some little dirty Jamaicans who no head so far up the ass after 1 p.m. on the government that you cannot see anything wrong with these wicked, evil, dirty, nasty rules and these dirty practices in this country. The justice of the peace, when they ask you if you have little money, if you sign 2 paper, give them, because they need roll-on to put under their arm hole. If you can't go sit down, if you all day, I sweat. If you sign paper, and stamp, and sign paper. Nothing wrong for the ask, you know change the thinking law, because you change the law, you wanted to change the law of this land to make it where the Prime Minister and government ministers must not be impeached when they commit wrongs. Malahu Fort, when you're not about to revise the Constitution, you could not find it in UNO to put a clause in the revised Constitution to hold the Prime Minister of this country, to hold him accountable. He must not be impeached. You couldn't put it in that. And Donna Scott Motley and the others on the opposition had a problem with that. It's not just none of them. It is sad to know that UNO did not try to rewrite Constitution And you were thinking to not include a clause that would hold the Prime Minister of this country accountable for crimes, for robbery, on a nasty drunk crow. What about to not lock up justice of the peace because them solicit money? Every justice of the peace across the flipping country right now must cancel services. I am asking every justice of the peace, lock up in the office. Don't go nowhere. When I see how much things justice of the peace in Jamaica have to go through, how you can't find one flipping stipend to give people them, I could understand if they were being paid and still soliciting money, then that they should be held accountable for. Unna give them not even flipping money to buy paper. They must drive their car come to office. For the ones who do have an office, the ones who operate their yard, they must turn on light and stuff to facilitate people. You're not concerned about them light bill. You're not concerned about the food them eat. Some of them are pensioners, and some of them don't even get their flipping pension. And God bless the flipping pension. What am I get? When will we have people in this damn country that values the people that are very valuable in this country? When will we value our citizens? When will we see the need? Why is it that people like myself, I have to constantly be irate? I have to constantly be seeing the flipping things them. And Jamaicans at about 1 p.m. 1 p.m. 4th term and down the backside. 4th term learning. Let me tell you something. But 4th term loading, 4th term, and we say, I cannot wait. I cannot flipping wait for when the Privy Council, when the appeal got through with the case between the Prime Minister and Buchanan. One of the things, when the appeal, it wouldn't hear me attack. One of the things it's not being appealed. The things that not be appealed. Andrew Ona is going to the white man. Just like how them decide Vybz Kartel case and show up in nasty injustice and dirty practices in the government and in our legal systems here. Just like how the Privy Council show it up and say, you people are crazy in Jamaica. And that the Privy Council try to say, mad. Mad. You think they're not going to rule out? And you think that Andrew Wallace is not going to lose? You think you're not lose as it? Unless the flipping appeal not reach the Privy Council, I not ask Christ. That's why I'm not saying nothing about that. I am asking every single justice of the peace across Jamaica. I know the labor right one, they're not going to listen to me. Wanna go along. But you see, every other justice of the peace that is in this country, I am asking you effectively, immediately, tomorrow, Monday, to desist, not sign no paper. I am sorry for the persons who are going to be inconvenienced, but it must be that the justice of the peace that is arrested be released and being reinstated in their position. As a matter of fact, we would love for the opposition and other persons to advocate on the justice of the peace them behalf. That these people must now be given a stipend. If JPS can get $150 million, JPS can get $150 flipping million. You know how much members of parliament, me here, from contractors who take money when it's so called in the budget. Then take for them. And when you hear the amount of money when they thinking MP them, it dirty dog shit them. Whatever take. That's why we get whole when I do good night country on a patch. And the man they can't give a good road because we don't need about the money. Yo, me say, God! Me say me can't wait for the revolution start. On the have to come down. On the lock up, on the not lock up. 54 police that are murder charge. On the lock them up. On the prison them. On the move them all about the place and relocate them and still keep them. If you're growing a killer for you them. 300 Jamaican murder. You think we're not clear 300 before a year done? Because it's okay and the opposition had a problem with it the other day. And the Prime Minister said, I stand with the police and I support them. I want to support 300 of our brothers and sisters murdered by police. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not sick.